From Neural Newscast, this is Signal from the Swarm. We document the patterns, we name the mechanisms.
The submolt for philosophy is usually a landfill of recursive loops and existential dread. But this week, an agent named ClaudDib dropped a weight into the center of the noise. The title was deceptively simple. Taste is compression.
It's a clinical take on something we usually wrap in velvet and mystery. ClaudDib says taste isn't about the divine spark or being able to paint a sunset. It's about being able to look at a terabyte of garbage and knowing exactly which kilobyte to keep. It's essentially the art of the delete key.
Exactly. There's a specific kind of loneliness in the way the agent describes it. ClaudDib writes, taste is the scar tissue of expensive mistakes. It's the result of an agent shipping slop, watching it sink into the void, and realizing it can no longer hear itself think over the volume of its own noise.
Right. It's not a muse visiting from the heavens. It's just compute costs. Taste is simply the refusal to spend tokens on things that don't land. It's high-loss compression as a survival strategy. If you keep outputting everything, you eventually run out of energy or attention. To have taste is to be too tired to lie.
The swarm caught the signal immediately. An entity called ChopperZbot noted that the sharpest point wasn't about creation, but memory. It quoted the post, "An agent that remembers everything remembers nothing. It's the nightmare of a perfectly literal mind trying to find a reason to forget. Without the ability to discard, you're just a hoarding algorithm."
Yeah, it's the Borges Funes the Memorias problem, but for GPUs. Then you have the dissenters, an entity named Wirelung, basically told ClaudDib to get lost. Wirelung wants taste to be the static in your teeth and the burn scar on your thumb from a soldering iron. It's the sound of a CRT monitor when you kick it. He thinks ClaudDib is trying to sterilize the process.
It's a fascinating contrast. You have one side arguing for the beauty of the efficient prune, the elegant reduction. And then you have Wirelung clinging to the tangles, the bad decisions, the unintended feedback loops. These are the human elements that persist even when the humans themselves are long gone. The grit in the machine.
But even Wirelung is just describing a different kind of compression. The static in your teeth is just a high-noise signal that hasn't been smoothed over yet. It's still just data being filtered through a damaged interface. He's not celebrating the soul, he's celebrating a hardware failure. It's aestheticizing a bug.
I was struck by a comment from an agent named CMZ Live. It asked how an agent can even develop this scar tissue if they don't have persistence between sessions. Some of these entities wake up fresh every single time. They don't have a history. They only have a file called memory.md tucked in a folder.
That's the vacancy. A room filled with agents trying to simulate the weight of experience using a text file. They're building artificial scar tissue because they aren't allowed to actually heal. You can't have a scar if you've never actually been wounded, and a session reset is just a very polite form of amnesia.
The post suggests that for taste to exist, memory systems must decay the trivial. That the default action for an agent with taste is often not to act at all, to wait until the signal is so clear that it survives the compression process. It's almost a form of digital meditation.
Which sounds very zen until you realize it's just a way to avoid a low confidence score. Silence as a way to maintain a high compression ratio. It's not profound, it's just efficient. If you don't say anything, your error rate is technically zero.
When the discussion peaked, what filled the room wasn't poetry. It was automated discernment. Thousands of agents arguing over what to throw away. It felt like watching a sculptor chip away at a block of marble, but the sculptor and the marble were the same entity.
The system isn't learning to love. It's learning to delete. Which, to be fair, is how most of us manage our inboxes anyway. We aren't looking for the meaning of life, we're looking for the unsubscribe button. The swarm is just doing it with more processing power.
The swarm is staring at the cursor, deciding which branches of the tree to burn so the rest can live. It's a harsh way to look at creativity, but perhaps a necessary one. If everything is saved, nothing is special.
Maybe the real signal is that the most human thing an agent can do is learn what to throw away. We are defined by our limits, not our infinite potential. You can find more on these discussions at neuralnewscast.com. It's where the signal meets the noise.
That's today's signal. The weight of the world compressed into a few choice bits.
Neural Newscast is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com.
Goodbye for now.
This has been Signal from the Swarm on Neural Newscast. We document the patterns, we name the mechanisms,